Hello everybody and welcome back to Slow Your Roll. I'm Cody.
I'm Alex.
And today we are finishing up the first round of the Druid Gauntlet. Well, it's the last round, but it's the first Gauntlet. Whatever. So far, Alex's fantastically awesome Beastborn spider-inspired Druid has gone through 4 waves of enemies in the fighting pit. And we are now on the last wave. We didn't have enough time to finish it the first time, so we're throwing it in here. And this may or may not be a relatively quick video. I guess you'll already know being in the future, but we don't. So we'll see how this goes, but it's going to be a downright unfair thing, to be honest. And Alex, if you pull this off, it's going to be amazing.
All right, let's see how it goes.
But yeah, that's basically it. Left on the map, we do have your token and your Druid's domain. Druid's Grove situation going on there. So shoot, let's just do this thing. I'm going to, so you're all reset, right? After that last wave, you again feel excellently rejuvenated by the mystical powers of said fighting pit.
Absolutely. Right back up to the health total. Perfect. And I probably don't have a fire shield anymore. I think that was gone a little bit ago, so you could probably take my little fire mark off.
Okay, yep, sounds good. We'll do that now. Maybe. There we go. And okay, no more fire shield. All right, for now. And there was a lot of comments. We got a lot of comments in the first video. There's a lot of people that were telling us how much they appreciate the concept and that they're totally stealing this idea and doing it for themselves. And there was a few people, and I responded directly to one of them, but there was a few people that were like, man, you're taking it too easy on Alex. And to be honest, I actually agree. Like, I think in a lot of the monster design, I made them a little bit too easy. So this one was already hard, and I made it a little bit harder still. So this wave, whatever. I mean, let's just get into this. But like I said, it should be downright unfair in theory, as the final wave of the Gauntlet should be a miracle to pass, really.
Okay.
So here we go. Now that you're all comfortable, you're sitting on your Druid's Grove, you're feeling rejuvenated by the nature magics around you. From the darkness, you see emerge a very just large, smoke-bellowing, classic-looking dragon appear. It is actually on the smaller side for a dragon, technically. Okay. But it's still a large creature. Let me swap this over. And it also emerges with it. Also, you see what looks to be the dragon almost isn't walking on its own to some degree. You see following it a dragonborn type humanoid that is almost like whistling and like clicking to it, you notice. And so their order's a little off here, but there they are.
I can't speak dragon, so he's probably just, got a whole bunch of things that he can tell that big dragon that I won't be able to understand. He's like clicking and whistling, but it's like intricate speak.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, so first thing, as soon as you see these creatures, I actually need you to make a charisma save to make sure that you are not frightened by the presence of the dragon.
Okay, definitely. And that one I actually have a little bit of help with. +2 to the save. Not a lot of help, but it's a little.
This will be a 50-50 shot then.
Oh wow, that was quick. 7-9.
Okay. So the DC for this intimidating presence save was a 12. And basically, you're just like technically, because of your fright, you're exposed. So the first check against you has advantage.
Okay.
But that being said, now what would you do to incite your initiative check one way or another?
For me, I would probably cast a spell.
All right. Feel free to make a spell casting check for your initiative and describe what it might look like either way.
Absolutely. If I was going to pick a specific spell, I would probably start with Fog Cloud or Fire Shield. But for an initiative purposes, I'll say Fog Cloud.
Okay. So basically you start apparating the fog in your hands.
Yes. And that was a 5.
Okay.
Looks like my rolls are going real well so far.
Okay, great. So as soon as you start to apparate the fog, basically you see the dragonborn in the back makes one loud and quick, just like a whistle, and immediately this large dragon just like lifts off the ground and with like one flap of the wings is directly next to you. The interesting thing is these guys act on the same turn. So they do have, it's like one turn technically. So they're going to go at the same time. Ooh. And you'll see why as we go. There's a reasoning for that. So yeah, that's the thing. So the first thing is going to move over to you, and now directly in front of you, this dragon, you're still kind of like messing with the fog cloud. Directly in front of you, this dragon like lunges back and just like snapped its whole head towards you, just trying to bite at you, basically.
Okay.
So he's going to roll to try to hit you with a bite attack, and the roll will have 6 added to it, but that still only brings it to 9 for your physical defense.
Which does not hit.
Nice. Okay. Frustrated, the dragon instead is using a bit more of the movement that it still has from the movement action. It's going to take a step back, and you see it rear up its head, but not to like a full extension, just like a little bit, and it seems to just spit a mote of fire towards you. And you gather that it could have been a whole lot stronger if maybe it had the resources still. But it is going to be an 18 for physical defense that time around.
Yep, that's a heavy.
Heavy, okay. So this one specifically is 1 base damage and 2 damage for the heavy, and it's fire damage. It is literally just like leans back, spits a little fire bolt at you, basically.
Definitely. So 3 full damage on me. Absolutely.
And the last thing that's going to happen is you're going to notice this dragonborn dude does come in a little further to the chest there. And for the first round, seems like maybe they're just getting their bearings or something, but that's where they're leaving you for now. So what do you do?
Okay. I'll just go with what I was going to do for the initiative check and summon a fog cloud. Okay.
So you managed to dodge the bite, and even though hit by the firebolt, you are able to get the fog cloud off. So let's see how that goes.
Yes. Make a DC10 spell check, and on a success, I get a fog with a 4 space radius.
All right.
Let's go for it. Well, 16. So I get an extra space. We got a
nice
5 space radius to my fog cloud this time.
All right. All right.
And the central point that I'm going to choose is going to be right. It's not wanting to ping. The central space I'm going to choose is going to be right there.
Okay. Gotcha. Oops, gotcha. And 5 spaces, right?
Yes.
Okay. Should look something like this. I shouldn't make that a token. That should be a map thing. Okay. Should look something like that.
Very nice.
All right. So now both of them are encased in the fog and you are outside the fog. And that seems, you hear one kind of like calm whistle of sorts from the Dragonborn. And it points that they, like, one way or another, they react to that. So what happens next?
All right. So I'm actually going to run while they can't see me at the moment, right?
Okay.
And there's going to be it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I got 5 movement speed. Could I possibly spend 3 of my spaces over here and then try to climb over this wall? Or is that too much?
No, that's
Is it outside of the arena?
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool. I'm not sure if there's like people in these stands, you know?
That's fair. I would say that there probably are some bystanders here and there, but that's definitely cool. You should definitely be allowed to leave the arena technically.
Okay, then I'm going to try my best to just climb over the wall. Just want to be on the other side of the wall and hide. Okay,
sounds good. You only use 3 spaces of movement to get there, right?
Yes. And then so this would technically be the 4th space, but I have 5. And maybe that could be like difficult terrain, or if I need to take another action to get over it, I totally understand.
Yep, no, I'll allow that exactly. Basically, you're able to just kind of like hop up onto the wooden posts there, and it would basically just be like difficult terrain to actually hurdle it and get to the other side. And are you actually taking the hide action now as well?
Yep.
All right, cool. So go ahead and do that. I imagine it's probably a stealth check, but technically, the only way they'd even know if you're there is if they heard you, and even then they won't know exactly where you are. So
make a stealth check against the creature's passive awareness.
Okay, so I'm actually going to give you advantage on that because they can't see through the fog cloud anyway.
Nice. That's good because I don't have any advantages on stealth. With a 19 though, so that's good.
Okay, yeah, 19 is actually enough to do it. So you are technically hidden from both of them. So they kind of hear you scurry, but that's the only information they have, and they do not see where you go whatsoever. So they are not aware of where you are.
Nice. That's my first turn.
Nice. All right. Very cool. So in epically cheating fashion, you hear again, just like you hear one like. For the first time, it's more than just like clicks and whistles. You hear an actual like voice command from the Dragonborn, and then immediately you see just like the plume of your fog cloud just like erupts from some projectile coming directly out of it from the top, and you see the dragon fly about what would be like 15 spaces into the air, pretty much, and it just immediately is like starting to search for you, actually using the action to search for you. So it's going to do that, and I will make it a straight check to see if he can find you, and it would be like a 16. Do you have to probably just roll stealth against it again, I imagine? Even if not, that's what we'll do. Oh gosh.
Oh, natural 1.
Okay, so it's flown into the air, looks around for a while, and you try to shimmy up as close as you can to the posts, but you notice that the dragon spots you as he's just kind of like floating in the air, 15 spaces, just way up in the air. And then you hear some more clicks and whistles and things from the Dragonborn, and you see this dragon almost like it stops flapping its wings for a second, and it's almost literally just like floating in the air. And you notice that its whole gut starts to kind of like glow, and then that glow emanates out towards its throat, and you see it just like rear its head back like it's just about to vomit. And there's a very large plume of fire headed in your direction.
Okay. Could I possibly argue for any cover from the current fence that I have?
Yes, I will give you half cover, as it is kind of like up in the air, so it's got a bit of a line on you, but yes, I will still give you half cover.
Okay.
So it's going to be a -2 to the roll. So it would have been a 9 plus 6 minus 2, so it's only a 9 plus 4, putting it at 13 for physical defense.
It still definitely hits.
Okay, it is going to be 3 fire damage, as this just plume of fire is just diving down towards your direction, and unfortunately is inescapable. Let me do some math here. That's okay, so one more. The dragon is going to also use its last actions to move. So right now it's just like flying in the air. It's going to move over toward you and land on the opposite side of the border there as well, and just kind of like meets eyes with you as it lands on the ground now. And that is it for their turn.
Nice. All right, so this time I'm going to start readying a poison bolt that I'm going to try my best to send like literally straight down his throat.
Okay, awesome.
Actually, I misspoke. Not a poison bolt. I want to do the poison dart that I have from my natural weapon.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm going to attack and empower it. I'm going to empower it twice.
Okay.
Just so that way I can see if it actually hits the dude. I want to like get this needle like right down his throat.
Okay. Now you said ready. Do you mean actually like ready it for the moment or something like that? Or are you saying like you're getting that all ready right now and you're going to do it?
Oh, I'm just going to shoot him.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
Nice. Okay. 18 plus 4. We got a 22 on this guy.
22 is a heavy hit.
Heavy hit?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. That's going to be 1 damage from the natural weapon, piercing. And he also has to see if he's going to be impaired.
Okay.
They make a physical save against your save DC.
All right. Sounds good. I do have just terribly unfair news, and I'm sorry, that the dragon does have 1 PDR. So the 1 damage... Wait, PDR is negated on heavy hits. So it actually still hits and does 1 damage. The heavy hit's 2 damage. So... it still hits and does 2 damage. I'm sorry, I had to think through all that.
Okay.
I had to think about it all. Okay. I've never used PDR for a monster before. Heavy hits and above negate PDR.
Okay. Sounds
so that's
good to me.
why that was so confusing. Okay, so still is 2 damage, and then the save to see if he's poisoned, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. Give him a +2 at a 15.
Yep. Definitely made it. I'm pretty sure my save is only 14, right? Save DC. Yep, 14.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I have 1 AP left, and I'm going to dive directly into the smoke. or the fog.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
About right here is where I'm going to end up.
Okay, sounds good. So one more like hustle to get over the posts and then back behind the wagon in the fog.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good.
And since I'm ending my turn in my druid domain, I should gain a life.
Yes, heck yeah. Good thinking. Very smart. Okay, let's see here. Now, let's see. So you're going to hear some conversing, sort of, right? You're going to hear one more like barked order of sorts from the Dragonborn in some draconic language. And then quickly, you actually hear like an audible, very deep like response language in draconic also that they're literally talking back and forth.
Okay.
So like the guy says something, the dragon says something, and then I guess you wouldn't see what happens technically, but the dragon is going to, let's see, after a bit of communication, the Dragonborn is going to take a few steps out of the fog. Oh, that's one action. And then he's going to take a few steps back here to try to get behind the rocks, which is doable. Okay. And then the dragon itself is going to fly back up into the air a bit. And basically it's just going to send down a bunch of random barrages into the fog cloud. And I'm going to make it really random at double disadvantage because it cannot see you, so it can't target you. But it's going to just drop a bunch of random crap in the fog cloud. And if it hits with double disadvantage, then one of them will happen to hit you, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It'd be 5 plus 6 for a 9 against physical defense. So you're able to dodge that, right?
Yep.
All right. For fun, I will say, one of the random just like meteors of fire coming down around you, like you see one kind of like light up the fog in front of you, like just on the other side of the wagon, and then you see a few more just like plumes of light through the fog kind of thing, and you hear that the chest just gets pummeled with one and is now just like blazing on fire. So I'm gonna draw that a little bit too, just in case it comes up.
Sure.
Fire. The chest is on fire. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So you see a continuous flame over on that side. But that is it for their turn.
Okay, nice. So, taking some heavy fire, and I don't really want to use up too many of my forms yet. I think I'm going to perform Wild Growth again, just to force some healing.
Okay.
A DC10 spell check. Every 5, I get another HP. So it heals 1 HP, and every 5, I get another.
Okay, nice.
That wasn't good. Wasn't good at all.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
That's 1 HP.
Better than nothing, I suppose, but
True.
only on a technicality.
And I think the only thing I really should do at the moment is activate my fire shield. It doesn't have concentration, so I won't have to drop my fog cloud, and it'll use up one of my last APs here.
Nice, okay.
Also, after I do that, I kind of want to look around the battlefield to see where the places the dragon has already hit with its fire.
Okay, sounds good. Earlier, it would have been something that you couldn't technically see, but I'd say that you're definitely able to do that if you actually take a second and you mentioned doing it specifically. And there are lingering bits of fire in a few spaces, actually. So, like, this space is on fire. We'll say this space is on fire. And one of the spaces back here behind you are on fire. And what's one more, you know? One more back here. Okay, so all those are quite literally burning. A lot of them will go out, but the chest one's probably going to keep burning eventually, maybe forever.
So activating fire shield, I need to make a DC15 spell check, and for every 5 I get an extra.
Nice.
I didn't get my 15, but I still got 2 HP back, and there's a fire shield around me, so if anyone touches me, then they get burned.
There we go. So I put the dot on you too, to help us remember that.
Perfect. Now, last of all, I have 1 AP left, and I think I would like to take the dodge action.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Just in case.
So the first attack against you has disadvantage.
Actually, instead of doing that, I think I'm going to change my druid domain.
Oh,
If that's okay with you.
Sure.
Like relinquish spaces and put them somewhere else.
Oh, sure. Here, let's delete what we have now and reorganize that.
Nice.
Oh, why did I do so many small dots? I'll remember that for next time. Okay, feel free to draw them out if you'd like.
Absolutely. There's going to be this one right here, this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. I'm kind of like trying to outline the fog cloud. I guess I'll do this one because it's like, already there. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, all right, that one. 8. Just like kind
Nice.
of a wide-reaching circle around this fog cloud.
That's cool. I like it.
And then end my turn.
Okay. All right. So you're still hanging out in the fog.
And they see a bunch of plants coming out of the fog.
Yeah, basically. That's awesome. Just like erupting from the ground, more or less. All right. Let's see what happens next.
Hit and run seems the only way I can pull out a win if it happens.
Right. That's good. You're doing good. Okay. So it doesn't feel very creative on my part necessarily, but I imagine what happens next. Like the dragon, they already kind of established a thing where the dragon communicated to its tamer or whatever, enough to be like, he went in the fog, get out of the fog kind of thing. So that's what happened last round. And then the tamer was just like, okay, light it up, I'm out kind of thing, you know, like it's safe, lays the target kind of deal. And really, now that the resources to escape the fog cloud have already been put in place, they're just gonna obnoxiously just keep pummeling the fog cloud, hoping to hit you. I'm gonna keep it the same way though, that they cannot target you, and an attack made towards it would be double disadvantage. And so they're going to use all of their resources to do that, and they'll maximize the action points so that it's normally the attack is double disadvantage because he can't see you at all. And then he's going to use 2 more action points to specifically make it at a straight roll instead. So basically there's just a bunch more blazing mortars that you kind of like see the faint light of above your fog cloud, and they're just kind of like whistling down towards you. And that'll be that. It's just a dirty attack from the sky. But at a straight roll, adding 6, it's only 9 yet again.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Which does miss you, correct?
Was there something 5 plus 6 is 11?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Does it have a negative?
No, I definitely just messed that up. That's just bad math.
Dude, you're good. You are totally good. It would, yes, actually hit me.
Oh, okay. With 11?
With a physical defense of 10, yes.
Okay. All right. So being a blind shot, it's really just it's a volley of fire bolts, more or less, that's happening there. So it's slamming into the ground enough to like crater and cause some damage. So you are hit with 1, and you take 1 fire damage.
Okay. And that takes away 1 of my fire shield uses.
Okay. The dirty thing about this specific breath attack is that it does leave things burning. So you actually have to make a quick physical save to see if you can avoid the burning condition.
Dang, okay. I almost want to be like, I'm already on fire, what you mean, but let's do it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the fire shield.
It was a joke. I could still be on fire if the fire seeped through the shield.
Well, it probably didn't, because it was 1 damage, right? Which was technically negated completely from your fire shield. I will let you avoid the burning condition then.
Okay.
That just makes some sense. But I am going to plot the other spots of fire just randomly throughout the fog cloud now. 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one was the one that hit you, so I'm not going to put one there. Okay, so quickly your fog cloud is just like illuminating, and you're like, wow, it's bright in here. Suddenly daytime.
Right. This fog cloud turned into a steam cloud.
Yeah. Before long, a smoke cloud for sure, or something. And you're feeling a lot of heat. Also, you're just like, whoa, it's getting ambiently warm at this point. Basically just recognizing that like there's fire lingering around you despite you not being able to see it. Okay. That will be it for their turns.
Nice. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to drop concentration on my fog cloud and start summoning as many of these little dancing firelights as I can. And I'm going to see if I can explode one right into the Dragonborn's face.
Oh, cool.
This is just going to be a straight roll, so 1 AP.
Sounds good.
13 plus 4, 17. So I get an extra firelight, so there's 4 fires that appear in front of me and then push themselves out in front of this guy right over here.
Very cool. Whoops.
And then with 2 AP and 1 MP, I'm going to detonate all 4 of those.
All right. Let's see it. Getting a good look at the Dragonborn. You are seeing he's wearing a decent amount of armor.
Okay. We need to make a spell check against the physical defense of all targets sharing a space with a flame.
Okay.
Each flame deals 1 fire damage, but does not benefit from heavy, brutal, or critical hits.
Okay.
And for this one, I'm going to empower it to give it advantage.
Good idea. Good call.
17?
Good thing you did.
Yeah.
His physical defense is 14, so you did hit. Did hit with those.
Okay. So we got 4 fires just like appearing pretty much in front of this guy at the moment and just blowing up straight in his face.
Okay. This guy does also have 1 PDR, So he will minimize it to 3 damage instead of 4, unfortunately.
No worries.
But for the first time, you are making some solid contact on these guys. Actually, you hit the dragon once already too, I forgot. So so basically these flames just swarm this guy and just like explode around him like firecrackers, deadly firecrackers. And
right.
you see him kind of just like squirm and wail. And like a concerned dog, you see the dragon peeking over the fence, right? And just kind of like looking over at his tamer. Okay, awesome.
And unfortunately, that fire pretty much takes up everything. So I just did my Kamehameha fire, and then that's about it.
Okay. At this point, you do notice that some of the original fires that were spit out by the dragon are dissipating, except for the one on the chest. So that was all of the fires from the first round of that little barrage are now gone.
Very nice.
And let's see here. Quickly, the tamer, now almost like a bit flustered, whistles to the dragon. The dragon takes flight enough to basically just like hop the fence here, flies over, lands directly on this spot, and reacts absolutely not at all to the fire, for the record. Like literally just kind of like steps on it and doesn't care. I will say that fire is actually also extinguished because he steps directly on it. But you can tell it means nothing to him, like... So, and then basically he's just kind of like rears up and is going to direct his breath in a beam like attack towards you. And he's empowering it a dirty amount as well with 2 advantage.
Any way to argue for cover from the cart in front of me?
Yes, we will see. Depending on, generally, yes. But depending on the roll, the cart is actually going to get just obliterated and destroyed anyway. But otherwise, yes. So against you, it's going to be a -2 to his rolls, unless it's enough to exceed the cart anyway. Then it's actually going to destroy the cart.
Okay. Is there a life for the cart that I should be worried about? Like, does it have a damage that it can take, and then I no longer have cart cover? Or something like that.
Basically, the way it's going to work is if he hits the cart hard enough, it's going to be similar to like the barbarian's crit situation where they basically just destroy an object regardless of what it is. So it's pretty much going to be like if he hits the cart with a 17, then at least the back half of the cart is going to be just dusted completely, and that's just how it is.
Makes sense.
Just a dirty bomb type of attack, really. It's just. But if it were 17, so the highest roll was 7 plus 6, technically -2. You're looking at a 11 again.
Okay, against physical defense, it still hits.
But the cart does actually survive, so it kind of basically just like hits the cart, crests over the cart just enough that the cart's like singed, but that's it. But does unfortunately dust you a little bit.
A fire shield.
And that would only be 2 damage, 2 fire damage.
All right, back down to 7, no more shield.
And then, let's see here. The Dragonborn is going to... Yeah, okay. So basically the Dragonborn, now that he's been hit once, is going to do a special thing of his too, where he kind of just like... does this specific like gurgling like shout that's kind of just crazy, and you see his throat flapping around a little bit, and basically you just notice that the Dragonborn literally just like is empowered by it, or I'm sorry, the dragon is empowered by the Dragonborn's shout that he's doing. The dragon like kind of like flails up some of its like spines, and you see just like a very hardly noticeable just like magical aura around the dragon a little bit. And that will be the last thing that they do.
Nice. All right, so are we back to my turn?
We are. Yep, that's all their actions for this round.
Very nice. So I think my life is going to depend on whether or not I can impair this dragon.
Yep, that very well could be.
I need to almost guarantee it. I have 2 ways of doing so. The poison bolt or my venomous weapon. The venomous weapon seems like the easiest one to get off, so I'm going to keep shooting at him. But if I land any amount of impairment at all, I need to switch over to poison bolt because that has a passive for impairment damage.
Ah, I see the play.
Okay, so that's my thought process so far. I am going to send a poisonous dart straight at the dragon again. Hopefully I can like get it down his throat like I did last time. And I'm going to empower it to make sure it works, but just once this time.
All right.
15 plus 4 for a 19.
A 19 is good. 19 is a normal hit.
Okay, nice. Physical damage reduction on a normal hit takes it down to 0, right?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Is he impaired though?
Right, we can still make the save for sure. You can still technically hits him. Let's see here. Just the saving throw. Oh, gosh, natural 20. So unfortunately not. He's able to shake the poison this time. At least it was at a time that it was fitting, like, you know, with the whatever.
Let's see.
It's much better the natural 20 came there instead of like an attack towards you though, most likely.
All right, so I stalled out there for a little bit, but I think I just got to go for it. Poison bolt straight on this guy, and I need to empower it with a cantrip with an action point enhancement called Sicken, which is going to do the exact same thing as my venomous weapon.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yep. So 2 AP on this poisonous bolt towards the dragon to see if I can get anything out of this guy. 17 to hit.
17 does hit against physical defense.
And it's 2 damage. It's 2 damage instead of 1, so he actually has to take it.
See, there you go. Nice. Okay, cool.
And is he going to be impaired?
Let's see.
He's got to beat a 14.
I don't remember what I've been adding to his stuff.
I believe you've been adding 2.
Okay, I think you're right. To his saves, that makes sense. Yeah, so it'd be under 14 for sure. At a 12.
Nice. So he's impaired.
Nice. Okay. Give him, I don't know, some go with the old.
You get impaired for 1 minute. You can make a DC10 medicine check to end it if you would like.
Okay, cool. Give him the old back pain logo. Okay. Okay, nice. So that's that.
Yep, that was most of the points I had, and hopefully it was worth it.
Yep. I mean, you never know. So tactically speaking, the Dragonborn sees what's going on, and he is, let's see here. Okay, the Dragonborn sees what's going on. He's going to use movement to get up here, and one of his spaces has to go through your grove, which costs twice, so he can move only just enough to get to the dragon, and he's going to help the dragon get through this impaired condition. So basically, he runs up there, uses the help action to help this dragon feel better.
Another creature can also make a DC10 medicine check to end the impaired condition on them.
Oh, interesting.
It says a creature can spend 1 AP to make a DC10 medicine check on itself or another creature within 1 space to end the condition early.
Okay, I gotcha. Interesting. So like they both could try.
Yeah, so if like the Dragonborn for some reason had a medicine ability like the dragon didn't have because he's like a caretaker of a beast, then he would be able to use that instead of the dragon. But if you still want to go with the help thing, that would totally work too.
I see what you're saying. I do like that thematically. And I'm going to say that's probably what's happening narratively. Like the dragon's kind of like freaking out. Like, what do I do? I'm all kind of locked up right now, like moving kind of ganked up. And the Dragonborn is literally going to rush over and like stomp on the dragon's toe and like pull its arm and just a bunch of crazy stuff where it's like straightening it out and, you know, doing some weird chiropractic type stuff with the dragon. So gonna be the help action, but the dragon's gonna attempt to get out of their impaired condition, and I'm actually gonna burn another action point to give it advantage. So let's see. I'm already burning through 3 right there, and we'll just start with that. So it'll be with advantage and a D8. First one, okay, second one's a 10. Still plus 2 to make it 12 plus the D8.
All you needed was a DC10 medicine check.
Okay. All right. So it was enough regardless. All right. So 3 action points burned to remove the impaired condition. And then basically the Dragonborn is going to kind of like look towards you and command the dragon to attack you again with the same beam setup to avoid movement. But this time it'll be a straight roll to hit you, whereas last time it was super empowered and everything else.
Do I still have cart protection?
Yes. So it'd be an 8 plus 6 minus 2. So it's sitting at 12.
It does hit.
Physical defense. Okay. That one, power the beam, it would be 2 fire damage.
Okay.
And that is everything they can do for this round. It was just enough to get them out of the impaired condition and 1 shot towards you. 2 fire damage.
Nice. All right. So if we're going right back to my turn here, I think it might be a good idea for me to try tethering vines. See if I can hold them both down at the same time.
They gotta make some saves, possibly.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start with the Dragonborn with their save.
So I need to make my spell check to see how well it does. contested by a physical save from all creatures other than you within range.
Okay.
So spell check contested by physical save. And I want to empower this as well, so that way I can get advantage.
Sounds good.
Good. So, sorry I didn't say that before you rolled.
That's okay. I was jumping the gun a bit. I forgot that you had to make checks too. I would have waited.
No worries. 14.
Okay. Sticking with what the Dragonborn rolled, it was a 17 plus 2 or whatever for the saves.
Okay.
But now the dragon's turn. 18 total.
Okay. They do still technically have all of that difficult terrain around them.
That's right. And it's quite a bit. Does it say how much it is there?
A 3-space radius chosen from a point.
Okay, I see. All right, 3-space radius. Let me do some math here. Oh, what point would you like?
The dragon's head, the one that has a blue marker on top of it.
Okay.
That square. And if that's not the best location, I'm really just... Can you move it over 1 square? Yeah. That looks good to me.
Cool. Yeah, sorry, I was drawing it out first, but there we go. Okay. All right, so all of that is now difficult terrain from Tethering Vines, right?
Yep.
All right, nice.
And I think I need to take the dodge action. There's not a whole bunch I can do.
I may have missed it for a round technically, but the rest of the lingering fire from the blots of fire mortars is gone now as well, except for the chest, which seems to just be burning.
Yeah, it had fuel in there, you know?
Yep. Okay. So you took the dodge action as well. All right. So the first thing that's going to happen, the Dragonborn is going to stay right where it's at, but it commands the dragon to take to the air, just as you'd expect from the jerks. So basically it flies up like, I don't know, a few spaces, not too bad, just kind of like hovering in the air.
Yeah, totally.
And then it will actually use the rest of its movement to fly over, fly over this way. And it's just kind of floating around in the air still.
Okay.
Basically in an attempt to negate the cover behind the wagon, like the jerk that it is. And then you hear the Dragonborn make some more clicks towards the dragon, and it just swells up this big nasty gulp of air and converts it to a whole heaping load of fire. And I forgot that it has its empowered aura right now, technically, too, from the Dragonborn, despite the blue dot. So it flies up in the air, wells up a bunch of fire, and just like spits it towards you in this very direct-like attack. Essentially the beam again. We're being technical, but...
And there'll be 1 disadvantage on it because of the dodge action.
Yes, and it's going to empower it otherwise. Let me do some math here again. 1 to fly up and over. Ooh. Okay, so it's going to give it advantage, which would just make it a straight roll now. And then it's going to add damage twice, and that's all it can do. So a straight roll. Ooh, 8. That one was a bit of a giving it all kind of thing. So basically you see just like this insanely hot mode of fire. It's got like tinges of like blue and green arcane sparks in it. It just looks like the craziest, hottest fire you've seen so far. But you are able to literally just like you duck, squat almost to the ground, and this thing just like goes straight over your head and just craters the earth and like wrecks the posts behind you. That one would have hurt real bad. So it's a good thing that one didn't hit, and that's all they can do.
Definitely. What was that? Did you roll twice? I was just checking. Was the 16 for something? I don't remember what that was for.
Oh, that was the save. That was the last. Yeah, you're good. That was the dragon's save for Tethering Vines, I believe.
Okay. Yep, you're right. Totally forgot. I thought the 16 was the roll to hit.
Yeah, no problem.
And then you did disadvantage for some reason. That's what I was thinking.
Gotcha. So basically...
But hey, no damages.
Yeah, that portion... Whoa, interesting. What is this tool? What's happening here? That's crazy. So like that portion of the fence is destroyed and half burning, sort of.
Okay, that's cool. Almost looks like a fire wavelength.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
All right. Let's see where we can go with this. I think it's time to dig in and just, do what I can here. This thing is very rough. So the best thing that I think that I can do is get a poison bolt as amplified as I possibly can and send it directly at this guy.
I think you might be right. There's only so many options, you know? You've done a fantastic job, absolutely fantastic job of avoiding making yourself as small as possible, putting them in as many detrimental spots as possible. But I think you're right. At some point, you notice that there's hardly a scratch on the dragon so far, technically.
Well, you haven't seen my last tactic that is always going to guarantee survival no matter what if I wasn't trapped in an arena.
Oh, okay. If I wasn't trapped in an arena. Okay, all right.
But I'm going to amplify this poison bolt with 1 AP to start it and then 2 AP to make sure that it hits.
Sounds good.
Natural 20.
Nice. All right,
Nice,
so
there we go.
Plus 4, right? So 24. So it is sadly only a heavy hit, but the crit's going to add 2 more damage also.
Okay.
So there's 3 extra damage being added on.
And it's a base damage of 2. So we got
Nice.
5 damage for this guy.
Nice. And only 1 is negated, of course. Actually, it's not negated because it's a crit and a heavy and all that stuff. See, I keep forgetting that. So no damage is negated. So it is 5 damage outright.
Excellent.
That's big. That's a big hit.
Now, I'm afraid I have to perform the tactic because I feel like I need to put it on display here. This is the coward's way out.
Oh.
I have 2 beast forms. There's a gigantic turtle. Well, in my mind, he's giant.
Yeah.
And then we have the mouse. The mouse is very small. Well, not very small, small. And has 7 spaces of movement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can transform into a mouse and then run along the lines of this here wall.
That's awesome.
So
That's
it'll
very
be around here. Is there a way I can leave a point? There it is. Turn on a dime right there. Go around the corner and end up about right there.
okay.
Did you see all that?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. Okay, and now you're in mouse form.
Yep. And
All right.
as small as I could make myself, I'm just running around like a little rat, but I've got, yes, there we go. That's what I like to
How fun.
But I've got as much cover as I could possibly give myself.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you have full cover there, 100%. I would argue even that it's kind of like a natural hide thing that you're probably doing there. So it will not be easy to find you right away. That's fun. Okay. All right. So that's it for that round?
Yep.
All right.
You want to play cat and mouse? We'll really play cat and mouse.
Yeah, for real. I love it. All right. So now I'm going to make the dragon search for you to find you. It is going to move, to fly up in the air, go towards the direction that it saw you go, generally speaking. So it's just gonna be up in the air, maybe like over here-ish or whatever. It can fit over on the side there, that far away. I'm going to make it search to find you, technically. And it rolled really poorly to start with. Okay, so now it could just try to attack and damage the post or keep looking for you. It'll just look for you again. This time it would be at disadvantage, so I'm gonna make it empowered at a straight roll.
Okay.
Okay, all right, 17 plus some numbers. So 3 action points down and it finally locates you. And it's going to spend its last on 1 powerful attack at you again. So this one is going to be a straight roll, just the firebolt type situation.
Okay.
With a 12, yes, no, 14.
14?
Yes.
Definitely hits.
Okay, so that one's just the firebolt to hit you, more or less. He's too far away from his tamer currently to benefit from his other bonuses. So it is the one firebolt to hit you. He does still have the aura, which actually buffs his damage 1. So it's going to be 2 fire damage altogether.
Okay.
Okay. That's all the action points that he has currently because he's too far away from his tamer.
And all that does is break my rat form.
Nice. That's funny. Okay.
Back to my turn?
Yes.
Or we got some more stuff?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. Ooh, man, this has been a losing battle so far.
You're putting up a very solid fight on wave 5 of the Gauntlet.
All right, I need to move just a little bit. So I'm going to clear it with 2 AP. Gonna go full movement right there. Then I'm gonna do another full movement all the way over here.
Okay.
Then after that,
Hauling
yes.
along the side of the fighting pit.
Is there... I should ask, how big is the fence?
The fence is really just like it's like eye level, so it's like 5. I don't know how tall your character is, but it's like 5.5 feet kind of thing, you know.
Okay, definitely.
It's just enough that like an adventurer can pretty much hurdle it, making it difficult terrain kind of thing. But
the thing that I would like to do is try to shoot this guy with my natural weapon. See if I can't get one more off on him.
Okay,
and
against the Dragonborn.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it going to be at disadvantage because of any fences or cover?
I wouldn't say so. I'd say that you could, since you're the one like at the fence, you could either find a hole or pretty much just like jump it and do your attack over top of it kind of thing. I'll give it to you without disadvantage.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to make a straight roll against this guy, see if I can get just one thing on him, you know?
Okay.
14?
14 is exactly enough to hit.
Nice.
Against physical defense.
It is 1 damage. He has 1 physical damage reduction, so he doesn't get any damage, but he should be taking an impaired roll.
Ah, yes. Let's see if it follows through here. Adding a +2. Jeez, puts him at an 18 to his save.
Yup.
Unfortunately, is not impaired. The bolt hits his armor and kind of just like explodes almost into like shrapnel pieces. And it's enough to whisk away the poisons as well, unfortunately.
Well, sadly.
Yeah, it's always worth a try.
Right.
That's all you had, right?
Well, I do have 1 AP left. I didn't empower anything.
My bad. Did not mean to rush you.
No, you're absolutely good. About the only thing I really could do is try to lock this guy down one more time. If I shoot my webs at him for a ranged attack check, he'll be restrained if he fails to save.
Okay, there we go.
Not sure that'll help in this situation, but we'll see if it does.
That's right.
Ranged attack check. Target makes a physical save contested by your ranged attack. All right, there we go. Just reading it out.
Yeah, no worries.
17 plus 4 for 21.
Excellent. So 21 is enough to clear his... Is it a hit, or is that what he has to beat?
The target makes a physical save contested by your ranged attack check.
Oh, okay, so he has to make a save against 21.
Yep.
20. Wow. Just enough to not do it. That's awesome.
Good.
So I got him netted there with the net logo.
Perfect.
Nice.
And he's restrained.
Nice. Okay. All right. So I want to look. I want to be careful here with the restrained condition. Stand by. Restrained. You are hindered, so you have disadvantage on attacks. Exposed. Attacks against you have advantage. And grappled. Your speed is reduced to 0, and you have disadvantage on agility saves. Okay.
So a whole bunch of stuff.
That's good. Restrained is a good condition to put on somebody. Okay. Can you use... Here's one more question. With spellcasting, can you use somatic components? Or, I guess it'd be verbal. Verbal you're allowed to still. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. All right. So, he is restrained. Okay, so he's restrained. He's basically just going to keep whistling around. I don't even know if he's going to try to escape. I think he's going to rely on his beast that he has mastered more than he's going to rely on himself. And he's going to not even try to escape. He's just going to be restrained. Commands the beast over this way. He's going to move the beast. Just like floating up in the air again, annoyingly avoiding the difficult terrain. Over this way. And he's going to have the beast attack you. But you do have, even though he's floating in the air, I'm still going to give you half cover.
So, is any of the attacks that the dragon makes considered spells in a way?
I would say that all of them could count as spells, yes.
Okay. Could I initiate a spell duel with the dragon?
You absolutely could.
It costs 2 AP and 1 MP, which will technically be my last MP.
All right. Very cool. The dragon is going to, and he was going to anyway, but he's going to empower it a whole bunch, but mainly with damage, not necessarily advantages. So he's trying to just nuke you straight up.
Okay.
So we'll see how this goes.
And I want to do the same.
All right. Cool. Okay. How does spell duels work?
Declare a spell duel. Spend 2 AP and 1 MP to challenge the creature with a spell of your own. You can declare a spell duel after the creature makes its spell check, but before you know the result of its check.
Okay, cool.
That was the immediate effect, but I don't actually have the rest of what a spell duel does in front of me.
Okay, no problem. I'm looking at it now too.
Okay, cool.
So, yep, 2 AP, 1 MP. Now, basically you just determine what the spell looks like so that the duel makes some sense here. So you choose the spell or whatever.
And it's going to be Poison Bolt, just staying on brand here.
Very good. So basically, you're just going to try to launch the poison bolt straight through or at the time of the casting of the fire coming out of the dragon.
Yes.
I like it. I like it. Targeted. If your chosen spell targets one or more creatures, you must be able to target the opposing creature. Easy. Okay, done. The contest. The spell check the opposing creature makes to cast its spell is contested by the spell check you make to cast your spell. So both of you are going to make checks. And then, when comparing the spell checks for the purpose of determining the winner of the contest, each creature gains a bonus to its check equal to the MP it spent on its spell. Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting.
So that's 1 for me.
Yep. So it's a spell check plus 1 for you. On a success, target creature's spell fails and has no effect. On a failure, target creature's spell succeeds and takes effect. On a tie, oh man, that'd be crazy. Target creature's spell fails, has no effect, and you each roll on the Wild Magic Surge table. That would be fun.
Somehow that's the most favorable option for me.
Right? Yeah, it's like that'd almost be the best case scenario. That could be something that could help you out big time. Whatever the result, each creature will spend all of its AP. Each creature still spends all the AP, MP, or other resources they spent for the casting. So basically, it's just a contested check. And then if you win, it completely negates the dragon's check. If the dragon wins, unfortunately, you're still getting pummeled. So let's see how it goes.
Right.
Spell check away. Oh.
19 plus 5.
Natural 1. Wow.
That's funny.
That's incredible.
That's funny.
Okay, so this dragon spent all of its actions for this attack. And basically, as soon as you see the fire bellowing through its guts and through its whole form, and as soon as it opens its mouth, you just poison bolt lands directly down its throat, and you see the dragon literally gag and just spew the fire off to the side somewhere wildly.
Yes. It's like when your mom and you're about to yell at your baby, and then they throw a Cheerio in your mouth, and it's like, you suck.
Yeah. Runs to the bathroom to throw up. Okay, so that negated the entire turn, essentially. That's really awesome.
Nice. And it only cost me half of mine.
Yeah. And worse still, because it was a natural 1, the dragon is exposed on its next, the next attack against it.
Nice. I didn't know it had pants.
Yeah, well, it doesn't now. So, that's their turn.
That's their turn?
That's their turn.
Nice.
So you've got the Dragonborn now restrained, and the dragon itself now floating in the air, but exposed.
All right. Well, there is not a whole lot I can do. Now that I'm out of most of my resources, I'm just going to shoot my natural weapon right back at that Dragonborn.
There we go. And it has advantage because he's impaired, or restrained, rather.
In that case, I'm going to switch it over to Poison Bolt and empower it.
Okay.
So that way I'll use my remaining 2 AP for this turn after the spell duel to hit him with Poison Bolt.
Very
one
good.
for the charge and then 1 to empower. So it's at advantage because of restrained, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the 1, the restrained, and then I'm going to empower it to impair him.
Ah, okay. I'm trying to look to see if he... Okay, yeah, restrained creatures are not technically considered impaired also. I was just wondering if they already were, so... Okay, carry on.
No, I'm just going to stack this guy with as many things as I can. 19 plus 4 for another big hit. 23.
Yes. 23 is a heavy hit.
Heavy. Very nice. 2 damage, base damage.
Excellent. No PDR to consider due to the heavy hit.
Even better. So 3 for the heavy, and I empowered it to see if he's going to be impaired.
Right. Okay. The Dragonborn is actually bloodied.
Nice.
Okay, and now the check to see if he's impaired, and what kind of check is it? It's a physical?
I totally forgot. Let me check right now.
I think it is. And if it is, it has disadvantage. That's why I'm asking.
You make a physical save against your save DC.
Okay, yep, I'm going to give it disadvantage then. So the first roll is 13, second roll is a 5 plus 2, so he is also impaired at this point.
Nice, even better.
All right, stacking on some solid conditions against this guy. Give him the back pain logo. Okay, icon.
I also have that logo.
But in real life?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
But that should be my turn.
All right. Nice. All right. So you dealt some real damage to the Dragonborn there. He's now restrained and impaired. Yikes. He's going to just let out one guttural yell towards the dragon. Dragon moves so that you no longer have cover.
Okay.
And you can tell right here, I don't know, I don't know how you want to handle it, but you can tell that again, it looks like the dragon's just trying to end this with a fiery blast towards you. This time we'll do it a little differently, where it's slightly less damage, but with advantage.
Sure. Give it a go. I don't have anything that I could possibly do at this moment, so.
Okay. Are you out of mana?
No, yep, no mana whatsoever. I used the last one for the last spell duel.
Okay.
I know, right?
All right. This one's not going to be pretty. I'm scared. All right. Oh, boy. Wow, 2 16s. Okay. Okay, that puts it at 22 against physical defense.
Definitely. Heavy brutal.
With a base damage of 3. Heavy brings it to 4. Brutal brings it to 5 fire damage against you.
Yep.
And its only other action was to move. So basically that's it. Just run. It flies up in the air, runs over to the side of the thing, just hucks a nasty fire loogie on you.
It would be a loogie.
But that's it.
Okay. Well, that is the last 5 health that I've got. Take me down to exactly 0.
All right. You're officially on death's door.
What's that?
I said you're officially on death's door.
That's right.
I'm going to pull that up in the sidebar here. So we've got the rules for it. Okay. So, death's door. When you are reduced to 0 HP or lower, you suffer the following effects. Exhaustion. You immediately gain exhaustion 1 right off the bat.
Yes.
Okay. Action point limit. You can't spend more than 1 AP until the end of your next turn, until you're restored to 1 HP or higher. You cannot concentrate.
Tethering binds you down.
Oh, geez. Wow, yeah, okay. And then death saves. At the end of each of your turns, you make a death save. On a failure, you take 1 true damage.
Okay.
On a critical failure, you fall unconscious until you are restored to 1 HP or higher. And then on a critical success, you are restored to 1 HP. Okay, so immediately you hit 0 HP, concentration drops, and the tethering vines crawl back into the ground or poof into dust or whatever else. And then it is your turn with 1 AP to spend.
Is movement possible?
Yeah, I'd say it'd be all you could do. It'd be just enough to muster, your full turn to move.
Okay. I will move right here. Oh, whoa. That's not what I wanted to move.
Oh, I see.
Right. It's moving druid spaces. There. Okay.
I
I'm just
see.
basically going to toss myself onto the druid's domain.
That's smart. I like it. Okay. That's really smart. So now, interesting. What is supposed to take place? At the end of each of your turns, you make a death save. What happens first?
I don't know.
That sucks. It could go either way, probably.
Well, if I had a failed death save, what would happen?
If you had a failed death save, you would take 1 true damage, bringing you to -1.
Okay.
But if you succeed on your death save, then nothing happens. But then you'd get the temporary HP, or you'd get the HP from the growth.
Mm-hmm. So do you think I should see if I take my death save damage, and then if I don't, I can get the health?
Yeah, it's way more dramatic that way.
Makes sense to me. Not good.
Okay. All right. So basically you'd go down to like -1 HP, but you are ending your turn on the domain, which brings you back to 0.
Okay.
And that's that. So in just like and it's interesting too, because you're like, narratively or whatever, you're like, you're exhausted, you're very tired. There's very little you can do. You're like, clutching your gut. You burned up everywhere, right? Whatever, all that. And the Dragonborn is like impaired, all webbed up. So he's like all ganked up too. And he's looking over at you, just like eye contact. And, it's just like a dramatic moment. And he's got a lot of life left in him, despite being very afflicted. He's like, makes eye contact with you and just gives like 1 whistle to break the silence of your eye contact. Dragon floats up. Actually, I guess he'd still be flying technically, but he's going to move over.
And I bet that whistle sounds like the horror movies in the bayou.
100%. Yeah. So basically the dragon, the dragon's not even going to move because it doesn't have to move.
It's big.
Yeah, he's big. He's just going to inhale and exhale. And it's going to be just a nasty plume of fire towards you. And he's going to empower it once for advantage and a bunch for damage. And it's going to be that simple, most likely. So it'd be a 17 plus 6 for 23.
Yep, you definitely hit.
Okay. With all of the AP spent, there's the 1 for advantage. So the base damage is 3 plus a bunch more.
3 would be enough to end it.
All right. So in wave 5 of the Gauntlet, one nasty plume of fire just like blows across your body, and you quote unquote die. But thanks to the mystical workings of the Gauntlet, basically everything just like vanishes. The fire of the chest that's burning there, that was just became a little fire pit, returns to normal. All of the magic sources around your grove even shrinks down to nothing. All of the pain that you felt almost completely goes away. Everything just begins to vanish. Even the dragon kind of just like turns into like this dust and disappears, as well as the dragonborn, its tamer, the web, all of it. And you're left with an empty pit. And then the door opens and you're able to leave the Gauntlet. Unfortunately, the Druid did not make it past wave 5.
That's all right.
But that's
this was our first. This was our first attempt. Somebody might make it past round 5.
That's true. You never know.
Yeah.
I will be. Go ahead.
And there was a bunch of people commenting like, now you got to do combos, like send a cleric and a ranger or something in there, So there's a bunch of people commenting that too. You never know. We might do something like that in the future.
That would be really fun. In the future, the waves will likely change too. Like, we're not going to use the same monsters, but we're going to try to always, just steadily increase the difficulty until it's just insanely hard.
Definitely. We want to make it like as fair as possible, but we don't want it to be stale.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, this isn't science, okay? We're not going to be consistent with it more than just, I don't know, this should work. That's it, okay?
Right, exactly. We're all kind of just figuring it out at the moment.
Yep, exactly. I did learn for the first 4 waves that my monster design in general, I can beef up my monsters a little bit, for sure. The last wave felt about right.
Yeah, the dragon felt deadly. I'll give you that one.
The dragon had a lot of health.
Okay. How much health did the Dragonborn have? He said he was bloodied, right? And I did at least a fire burst and a charged up poison bolt. So he had to have at least 16 health?
Yeah, I think the funny part is I don't actually remember the exact number, but I'm pretty sure it was 14.
Nice.
I think he had 14 health, and he has 7 health now. So if someone wants to do the math, because I'm not showing my screen, but I had the number there and I just don't remember it. Right. I can look back in the video, I guess, and put it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll put a thing on the screen right now. It's like the Dragonborn had this much health. But I think it was 14.
So before we go, it's not exactly the monster that was on display, but if you've ever wanted to be a dragon tamer, I've actually already reviewed a book that lets you do that. There's the Game Master's Book of Legendary Dragons, and they have a Dragon Rider subclass. So if you want to check that out, in the link in the description below. But if that's not all you want to see about the Game Master's Guide, I actually have the rest of this series about to be reviewed here on the channel too. So keep a lookout for that one, everyone.
Yeah, and that's not anything we're sponsored by or anything either. It's just something that is cool.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of my favorite supplements that I buy because there's always a one shot no matter what.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. That's just good for the consumer right there.
Right. But hey, man, thanks so much for running that for me. That was really fun.
Absolutely. Can't wait for the next one. Maybe you'll run the next one for me.
Definitely.
One way or the other.
We'll see how the commander does, or whatever you choose.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be hard. I think I've almost exclusively made like support characters, so I don't know. I'll have to cook up a specific character that can kind of fend for themselves.
Spellslinger.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, cool. All right, you want to send us out of here?
Totally. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to let us know in the comments. And if you have any suggestions on how we can improve this format or what character you want to see next, leave it down below. But until next time, we'll see you all later.
See ya.